ده احنا لسه بنبتدي.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You have just watched a special report about Egypt's national strategy for population, which comes as part of its Sustainable Development Goals 2030, or SDGs, and its vision in this regard. And we're very much delighted to have with us here in the studio Dr. Huda Rizqana, former parliamentarian and doctor, to tell us more about the initiative, its objectives, and what has been achieved since it was launched in 2019. Thank you very much, Dr. Huda, for being with us today. Always a pleasure having you. Now, Dr. Huda, to start with, can we talk more about the National Population Strategy and its objectives?
Since 2019, the European Union, they were advocating 540 million pounds for the program in Egypt to start this initiative and to involve all the stakeholders in the society and the process of awareness program, education, intuition, and follow-up programs which can be among all the governorate in Egypt. And I think we have achieved some areas with success. And the thing that we need to elaborate, that all the educated people are following these European Union programs. The effort which should be done is among the rural area, which is bended upon the shoulder of the Women's Council to reach these people and to start educating and lecturing, and also programs in the schools for the young girls. The young girls need to be educated tremendously. I tell you something, when we start sport at the age of 7 or 8 years for the girls, or earlier than that, the build-up, hormonal build-up of the females tuned, and it will be adjusted to minimize the fertility for a degree. And when she got married, I think she can keep this sportive activity, and that's what we mean, that we have to keep the sports and any physical body activity which can maintain all the muscle at work and maintain the hormonal as we target.
Yes.
And it won't prevent the pregnancy, but it will regulate.
Yes.
It will minimize a lot, to a big degree, the ovulation, and it will minimize the accidental, hazards which happened if the girl is staying at home doing nothing except thinking of marriage, and she can see the rest of the family bringing 6 children or 7 children or 5, which is crazy, of course, at this era of time. Egypt needs to regulate the birth, and we have to shift also to the physical and natural methods more than the contraceptive will work, and we have to educate the people how to use it. And even the high school program, there should be 1 hour to educate girls about why we keen about girl health and woman health in the near future.
You raised an important issue here, Dr. Huda, which is how the National Council for Women and the Council for Motherhood and Childhood carry the responsibility of raising awareness for women, especially in rural areas.
Yes.
And educating women how the strategy serves to achieve a better life for them, for their children, for better education, better health, better everything.
Better chances. better chances by all means, because if she can compare her situation, if she has a sister which has a birth control or live in one of the cities around, and she's in the rural area, she can look at the level of the life she lives and what options they have, how they are enjoying life, and how they're enjoying good education and good health. Because the woman itself should know that this will go on her expenses, because the uterus won't tolerate 5 or 4 pregnancies in a sound way. Sometimes in the rural area they got accidental rupture of uterus after the 6th or the 7th baby. So that's why we have to educate the lady that on her behalf and her health, she should keep an eye for her health first of all, and also she will keep her minerals and hemoglobin and all the power built in her system to take care of the children or the whole family.
Yes.
The other issue is the psychological part. If she knows that everybody cares for her, the lady at the home, I think she will behave in a much happy way, and she will give happiness to her children and her family.
Definitely.
Of course, but there are a lot of miserable stories you can hear. She got 4 children and the husband left to somewhere, and she's alone, you know, she's carrying all the burden on her shoulders. So she lives a miserable life, and the children the same, and they fail in school, they don't succeed on the same manner. So that we are building for a new generation which is more healthy and more helpful and more open to the future. We are not gonna take all the burden we carried from the past and live with it right now.
Yes. What has been achieved so far, Dr. Hoda, from the strategy since it was launched in 2019?
I think a lot of success in a lot of areas in Egypt, of course, and maybe I can't give you the exact number right now, but we can see more than 50% success rate, and this is a very good area. As I said, it sounds and it rings a bell and a little bit educated, and we have to work programs for the rural area with meetings, gathering to the women and their girls, and giving them gifts if she can control the birth, and
incentives, if we may say.
Incentives. This will be more happy.
Actually, this model has been achieved in so many countries.
Yes,
in
a lot of
China.
Yes, India and China, of course. And we are talking about something which is mandatory, because when you stimulate the lady to start working and start to be keen about herself and her body and her health, she will feel more secured, and she will feel more able to produce a lot of happiness to the children and to the family and to everybody around her. Also, the childbearing period, when the woman enjoy a free time to take care of the children, it should be taken for the health and the wellness of the children,
of course,
not to produce another children. That's why we have to put an alarm here, red flag. You are now having, I think they should have cards to mention how many child she got. Every time she go check with the baby, they follow this, and the council should follow the birth rate here and record it and give her the advice. After 3 or the 4th child, that's it. I mean, it's more than enough.
Yes.
So she will feel more well taken care of, not left behind. And when you feel that the whole the whole country is taking care of you, and needs you to be more healthy and more beautiful and more happy,
Productive.
they give you the happiness and the glory of a good family.
Of course.
And the thing that this is life. We cannot deny the woman from her birthright, but we have to regulate it and to have to convince her that regulation of the children when she will feel much better about herself and she have time for herself as a woman.
Definitely. I'd like to thank you very much, dear Dr. Huda Rizqana, former parliamentarian and physician. Thank you very much. Always a
You're
pleasure
most
having you with
welcome.
us.
Thank you.
And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us in this edition of Women's World. I'm Hala Al-Hamilawi signing off for now.